Hello, happy Thursday. I'm so excited. Today is our last day of this absolute beginners yoga series. For those of you who maybe this is your first class, haven't met me yet, my name is Sienna. I'm a spiritual wellness coach and public speaker. My mission is just to uplift communities of color by pouring in spirituality, pouring in yoga, meditation, healthy eating, blah, 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 all of that. I just want us to all feel good, do good, be good. So today is day 5 of our yoga series, Yin Yoga today. And we're going to take it really slow and really simple. I want you to focus on keeping your eyes closed, feeling into your body and feeling into the shapes rather than looking at me for the example, looking at the computer screen to figure out what's going on. Instead, just listen, move nice and slow and easy, and know that there's no wrong answers here. Whatever feels good in your body is the right way to do it. So I'm gonna adjust my camera a little bit so that you can see my mat just in case you do need an example every now and then. But again, I really want this to be about you exploring your body and exploring your space in a way that feels nourishing and in a way that feels good. And especially for those of you who have been doing the abs and booty challenge with me this week, this will be a really amazing opportunity for you to just relieve some of the tension that's built up over the last 5 days. And just stretch it all out. So all you're gonna need with you today is a blanket if you have one, and maybe a pillow, a couple of pillows, whatever you need. Again, this is meant to feel super relaxing and comfortable. So whatever you have that's going to make your space feel nice and cozy, go ahead and set yourself up with that now. I'm going to give you a couple of more moments just to kind of arrange your space in a way that's very comfortable for you. Something that we did last time too, just as a refresher, is we took our blankets and laid them down over the yoga mat so that you just have this really inviting kind of soft, squishy sort of I guess you could call it environment for you to lay on and stretch on and flow on. One more thing to remind you before we start moving is that this practice is designed to excavate tension. Sometimes that shows up as emotions, past traumas, old stories and memories that you're holding in your body will sometimes bubble up to the surface. And that can feel really uncomfortable. It can prompt you to feel like crying or make you feel upset. Just know that that's totally part of the practice. And if you can bring that up to the surface and allow yourself to feel that, then use your breath and feel like you're letting the tension, letting those stories exit your body and exit your energetic space. That's how when you come out of the practice, you feel so refreshed, kind of like this brand new energy. Sometimes you'll just feel like lighter afterwards. And it's because of allowing that stuff to leave your body. So just, don't try to resist. Just let it happen, let it flow, and know that you're going to be okay. All right. So I want you to be, and I'm going to face you as much as possible just so that you can see the shapes better in my body if needed. But I want you to turn to face the long way of your mat. Okay, so coming all the way to the back of the mat. In this kneeling position, this is your hero's pose. So you've got the toes untucked, the tops of your feet are pressing down onto the mat. The hips are relaxed down onto your heels. Bring your hands on tops of your thighs. And before we get moving, I want you to close your eyes. Roll your shoulders up towards your ears. Take a deep breath in. And then roll them down and back. Exhale. Do that a few more times. So inhale to roll them up. Exhale to roll them down. See if you can connect that so it's one full circle. 2 more. And last one. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Resting here for a few moments with the eyes closed. Allowing yourself to come into this moment, onto your yoga mat, into the room, and into this practice. Letting go of anything that went on this morning or any list of things you have going on later today. Allowing yourself just to be right here in no rush, no place to be. take a moment here to think of why you came to this practice today. What is the intention here? Maybe it's to become more relaxed. Maybe it's just to stretch your body, relieve tension. Maybe you're doing this so that you can practice a commitment to yourself, showing up for yourself spiritually. Whatever your intention may be, I want you to start shifting it into an affirmation or a mantra right now. It can be something so simple as, I am relaxed. I love myself. I'm free. I feel good. Let this be just a small grouping of words or even just one word that really represents your intention today. And once you know what that mantra or that affirmation is, start repeating it to yourself either out loud or silently in your head 4 or maybe 5 times. Releasing tension in your jaw. Releasing tension in the belly or the waist. You're going to tuck your chin down towards your chest. Feel that stretch along the back side of your neck. And then bring the right ear towards your right shoulder, stretching the left side of the neck. And chin to chest. And pulling the left ear towards your left shoulder, stretching the right side of your neck. And chin to chest. Take one last deep inhale here. And exhale through your mouth. Slowly start to lift your head back up through center. You're going to place the left hand to the floor beside you. Reach that right arm up towards your ear, bicep towards the ear, and then take a bend towards the left side. So stretching through your waist, up underneath your right armpit, really reaching through those top fingertips, keeping the eyes closed if it feels comfortable this morning or this afternoon, wherever you are, whatever time it is. And breathe here. Imagine you can pull your ribs away from your hip and create even more space and more length in the side of your body. One more deep breath in and out the mouth. And bringing it back up through center. The right hand comes down beside you. You're going to slide the hands forwards, coming into a child's pose. So you're reaching the hands all the way forwards, but keeping your hips down to the heels, and your forehead comes down to the mat. Now, as you arrive, you can decide whether to keep the knees together, kind of how they were, or you can spread them open wider to give you more space for your belly and your chest to pour through in between the legs. Prioritize the forehead pressing down into the mat, and the hips pressing back onto the heels. So you have this nice long length through the back of the neck. Nice long stretch, I should say. And breathing into the back side of your body. Imagine the back of the lungs being filled up with air. Your whole body lifting a little bit towards the ceiling as you inhale. And then you sink down even further into your mat as you exhale. A few more breaths just like that. Inhale, really take up space, expand through your body. Exhale, release. Feeling your whole body relaxing here. If it feels good to you, gently rocking your forehead from side to side against your mat. So you're massaging out your face, massaging the eyebrows. It may even feel good to open and close your mouth here, stretching out through your jaw. Then reaching your arms as far forwards as you can, pressing into the palms of your hands, you'll gently begin to lift yourself up onto all fours for a tabletop shape. Before we move on here, just start moving around, maybe forwards and back, stretching out the wrists a little bit, stretching through the palms of your hands. It may feel good to drop the hips from side to side. I encourage you to keep the eyes closed and just move in a way that feels good in your body today. Coming back to your affirmation here, repeating it out loud or in your head, reminding yourself why you're here, and choosing movement that is in alignment with that intention. Just a few more breaths, moving around, waking up the body. Coming back into stillness in your tabletop shape. So you have the hands pretty much directly underneath the shoulders. Your knees are right underneath your hips. You have this nice sort of square table shape. You're going to tuck your toes under and then slowly start to lift your knees up off the mat, lift your hips up, and find downward facing dog. For this first one, maybe pedal out through the feet. We're still waking up the body, the back sides of the legs. Again, this practice is for you, and I want this to feel really good in your body. So keep the eyes closed if you have your balance, and just feel your way through this. Another option is just to keep the knees bent really low. Maybe you feel your belly pressing against the thighs and just lean into that connection. Breathing here. Two more big full breaths, either in stillness or in motion. Now you're gonna step your right foot in between your hands. Having the blanket is helpful. If you have one like mine is pretty slippery. Slide that front foot forwards, and then drop your back knee and untuck your toes. So the top of your back foot is pressing down into the mat. Now you're in your low lunge. You can step the front foot a little further forwards if you have the space in your hips and it feels good. And then start to drop your hips down towards that front heel. So your hips are moving forwards and down a little bit. Nice big stretch through the front of the left hip. I'm going to pause here for several breaths. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. Like I mentioned earlier, yin yoga gives you this special opportunity to breathe space into your body and kind of shake things up. Even though you're in stillness, you probably have felt already that the tension starts to bubble to the surface. You notice the places where you're clenching in your body, maybe in the waist, maybe you're sucking in your belly, maybe you're tight through your jaw. And you start to become aware of those sort of things. And then intentionally using your breath, you allow that tension to start softening. Little by little, you become more relaxed, more open. Even some emotions, like I said, some past memories may start to surface as well. And you can use your breath to just send those away. Welcome those feelings with curiosity and with love. And then send it away with your breath. Freeing yourself of the pain, freeing yourself of the discomfort or the burden of holding on to it any longer. Just a few more breaths here. Coming back to your affirmation anytime you need it, to remind yourself why you're here and to keep going. One more big inhale. I'll hold it, and as you exhale, start to shift the hips back a little bit and straighten through your front leg. So you can flex the toes, so your front toes are pointed up towards the ceiling, and then you kind of want to just straighten that knee, so you're kind of pushing the heel forwards more. Instead of bringing it so that your hips are back on your heel, instead you just want the hips to be kind of stacked right over your knee, so you have again this nice angle, and you just have this lovely stretch through the back of the front leg. It may feel pretty intense, and that's okay too. Tent up onto the fingertips, keep your chest lifted, and just breathe through this. Now if you're feeling pretty flexible today and you want to go even deeper, you can start walking the hands further towards the foot, even past the foot if you're extra flexible today, towards the front of the mat, and then start folding. The chest comes down towards the leg, the forehead comes down towards the leg. But we'll be here for several breaths, so choose something that feels comfortable and not too challenging, as it will increase in intensity the longer you hold it. So stay with your breath here. Remember your intention. For myself, as an instructor and as a coach, I love to keep the mantra, I am love and magic, because it's always also my intention to share the love, to spread the love, and to teach people how to find the magic within their body, within their space, within their world. So I tell myself, I am love, I am magic, over and over and over, so that I know exactly what energy I want to get across to you, to myself, to others. Something that even when things feel a little bit difficult, or I get frustrated, or anything I'm feeling something that I'm not really wanting to feel, just remind myself, I am love and magic, and this too shall pass, Let's take one more big breath in and out. Then slowly start to bend your front knee again, walking your hands forwards. You may have noticed that your front foot is a little too far away now, so you can pull that front heel a little closer to your body. Give yourself a chance to readjust and find your nice sturdy and comfortable foundation here. And we're going to move into a lizard pose. So right now, I have one hand on either side of my front foot. We're going to switch that. Bring the right hand inside of the right leg, and then start to heel toe the right foot out to the outer edge of the mat, maybe off of the mat onto the floor. Now you have this wider lunge. So the stretch moves into a different area of your outer right hip. You can stay here with the sole of the foot flat, both hands flat. Other options to take it deeper are to roll to the outer edge of the right foot, opening that knee to the side. You can use the right hand. Ooh, my back just cracked. That felt so nice. You can use the right hand to press the right leg away from you a little bit. And I'll turn my body so that you can see if you need the example. Let's stay just as you are. So I'm using the right hand to push that knee away, open up even more. Again, these are just suggestions. Take whichever level, whichever modification feels really juicy and safe in your body today. Another option for my super flexible yogis is to bring the elbows down to the mat. Really open things up. Allow your upper body to relax. And my back keeps on cracking. Things are just like falling into a nice alignment here in my spine. Keep stretching. I'm gonna move. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Stay where you are and breathe. And know that in this yoga practice, and particularly in yin practice or restorative yoga practice, you will hear kind of these pops and cracks, and that's just a sign that your body is returning to a natural alignment. You know, a lot of us, so many of us sleep on our sides, or I have, I know some people who even sleep on their bellies, kind of with the arms under them, and your spine and your hips and your whole body can get kind of twisted up and out of alignment. In our sleep, it can happen if we carry a purse on one side usually, and your shoulders can start to get skewed a little bit. So when you come into your yoga practice, you're putting yourself right back into that kind of square shape, right back into anatomically correct positioning, and it allows things to loosen up, open up, and just fall into place. It feels so, so, so good afterwards. Sometimes doing it is a little intense, and I know this one in particular is intense, which is why I'm talking you through it, trying to distract you from the sensation. But the reward at the end will feel so good. Give yourselves a couple more breaths here. Really breathing into that outer right hip. Imagining any tension that's there is able to just leave your body. One more deep breath here. And exhale. Now, you may choose to do a tricky transition here, and I'll demo this for you. Or you can come to a seated position and wait to get into this in a little bit simpler way. So keeping the hands where they are, keeping the right foot where it is. Tuck the back toes, lift that back knee, and then step the left foot forwards so that it's also at the outer edge of the mat. Now you have both knees bent. You're going to turn the heels in a little bit, maybe narrow your stance a little too, and then drop the hips down. The elbows come in between the knees, and your palms come together in the center of your chest for this yogi squat called Malasana. Stay there if you made it. Otherwise, if you came into a seated position, here's how you can get into this shape. I'm going to have you stand up, separate your feet, turn the toes out, heels in. Bring the hands down to the mat in front of you, and then bend your knees all the way down. The elbows come in between the knees. You're lifted through the chest. Now, if this is like, OMG, I don't know what she's trying to ask me to do here, you can totally grab your pillow or fold up your blanket pretty thick and put that behind you. I guess I should say under you, and you're going to sit onto it with the hips to take a little bit of the pressure off and let this feel a little bit, just a little bit more accessible. So you've got options. We're here for about 5 more breaths. Come back to your affirmation. I am love and magic. Now, start to bring the hands down in front of you and slowly, slowly start lifting yourself up out of this shape and then walking yourself into a downward facing dog. We'll spend a couple of breaths in your down dog, getting your pillow out of the way. You have a folded up blanket, moving that to the side. Maybe you pedal through the feet. 2 more deep breaths. And now step the left foot forwards to the outer edge of the mat and drop your back knee. So you're in lizard pose on the left side. So you have both hands inside of that left foot, and you can stay here up on the hands. You can let that knee drape out to the side, rolling to the outside edge of that foot. You can use the left hand to push that leg away from your body. So you're sort of twisting your chest here. Another option, bring the elbows all the way down to the mat. And you'll decide what feels best in your body today, knowing that your body is always changing and morphing. And the more you practice this, the more it will change. Maybe tomorrow you'll need a different variation, and the next day a different variation. This is why I encourage you to move with the eyes closed, stay with your breath, and focus mostly on how this feels versus how it looks or how it's supposed to be. How it's supposed to be is feeling good to you. It's supposed to be a nice stretch for you and your body in this moment, period. That's all there is to it. So stay with this a little longer. Keep breathing. Let's give it 3 more full breaths. Really make these ones count. Deep, full inhales through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Inhale that intentional energy, the love, the relaxation, the magic. Exhale the tension. One more time. Bring in the left hand back down to the mat if it's not there already. Pushing yourself up so you're on 2 hands. We're going to bring that left knee in. Heel toe that foot. You're going to switch. Put that left hand on the outside of your foot. So now you have 1 hand on either side of your front foot. And right away, we're going to shift the hips back, sending that heel forwards and straightening through the left leg. This is called half splits. I don't remember what it's called in Sanskrit. I apologize. I think it's called I'm not even going to try it. I'm going to butcher it. But half splits, for purposes of today, we are lengthening through the back side of that left leg. And again, you can stay with the fingers under the shoulders, sort of tented up on the fingertips, or down on the palms. Keep the chest lifted or fold. You can walk the hands forwards if that feels good, and around through your back. Just choose what feels comfortable and then lean into it. Let's give it 2 more full breaths here. In through the nose, and out through the mouth. Lifting yourself up and re-bending that front knee. Maybe sliding the heel a little closer to your body and coming into your low lunge. Opening up the front of that right hip, keeping both hands down on the mat. You can tuck the chin here if that feels good, or practice lifting through the chest, whichever feels best to you today. And breathe. Breathing through the feels, sensations, intensity. Breathing through the emotions that may be bubbling up for you. Letting it all go. Taking a few final breaths in your low lunge. When you feel ready, start to tuck your back toes and lift up that back knee. Slide the front foot back, come into a downward facing dog one last time. Bending your knees, bending the knees down to the mat, finding your tabletop. Separating the knees as much as feels good. Bringing your big toes together. Hips come to the heels, and you're going to find child's pose one last time. Forehead down to the mat. And breathe. Right away, noticing how it may feel different this time than the first child's pose we took together. Becoming aware of which places in your body feel a little bit more open now than they were before. Walking your hands back underneath your shoulders. Press yourself back up. Bringing the knees together. Hands on top of the legs for hero's pose. This time the right hand comes to the mat beside you. You're going to reach the left arm all the way up and over. Take a big side body stretch. One more inhale. And exhale, come back through center. And swing the legs around. Whether you're sitting on your bottom, and come to the middle of your mat. So in a moment, we're going to lay all the way down. So separate your feet pretty wide here, or as wide as feels comfortable. I want you to walk your hands forwards around the legs, maybe towards the ankles or the feet. Sort of hugging yourself here, and then tuck your chin. Coming back to your affirmation. Repeating it 6, 7, 8 times. Slowly as you can, start to roll yourself up, keeping your eyes closed, and then roll all the way down onto your back. You can choose whether to keep the soles of your feet flat, bringing the hands to your lower belly, or extend both legs long in front of you. Maybe rest the hands down by your sides, palms face up for Shavasana, your final resting pose. As you arrive here, take a final full inhale. Feel that breath traveling down the chest, into your belly, holding the breath in. And let it out with a sigh. Start to deepen your breath. Maybe bring some gentle movement into the fingers and toes. It may feel good to reach the arms over your head if you have space. And then bend your knees and roll yourself over to the left side, using that arm as a pillow or grabbing an actual pillow to hold yourself here for a moment. Using this pause to reflect on how you feel. And pressing into your hands, lift yourself up. Come into a comfortable seated position, maybe cross-legged, whatever feels easy. And bring your hands together at the center of your chest. Take a moment here to find gratitude for this practice. Gratitude to your body for showing up and doing everything you asked it to do. Gratitude to all of the instructors that have come before us and showed us the way, showed us how to tap in. And gratitude for the wisdom that was able to pour through for you today. For the clearing you were able to do in your energetic space. And of course, gratitude to yourself, your own desire to show up and make time for this. And we will extend that gratitude right back out to one another by sharing one final breath together. So exhale where you are. Inhale the thumbs to your forehead. And we bow to each other as we exhale. Fluttering your eyes open whenever you feel ready to. I thank you so much for being here with me today and practicing with me. And for practicing with me these past few weeks. This has been a really fun adventure, and I hope that you've enjoyed learning all the yoga basics. You learned about the breath, you learned the fundamental poses, the basic shapes that will allow you to expand your practice from here. So when you're taking a class either with myself in the future or with another instructor, I hope that you have a fresh kind of sense of confidence that you can take with you, knowing that you can close your eyes and breathe into this practice in whatever way feels good to you, no matter what. Again, my name is Sienna. I'm here for you. If you have any questions at all, feel free to leave a comment below. You can subscribe to this channel. I will be adding more videos later. This is my first series, my first anything really on YouTube. And so thank you. I thank you so much for being here on this adventure with me. And I'll look forward to practicing with you more in the future. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.